Think it's my new obsession. Yeah, think it's not even a question. Think the lips of Laura. Think it's the love you discover. Think as the ring on your cherry. Think cause you are so very. Think.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:31. It is Fed Day. Hopefully everyone's getting their morning going. Oh, yeah. September 18th. Take a look at the disclosure. Let's get to it. Hey. All right. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Scott Redler. I am the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Hopefully everyone's feeling well. It is Fed Day. Typically, these days are really tricky, really erratic, really volatile, and that's when you kind of know what's going to happen. This is the first time in a while where you kind of really don't know, and you're looking at the odds and you're trying to figure out what could happen if this happens, what happens if that happens. And, usually the trend is set the day or so after. So it'll be interesting. First thing I just want to say is, again, good morning. Feeling good today. A lot of people, on Sunday, I started doing my fast again. People are like, Red Dog, why do you fast on a Monday? I do it for 36 hours, actually, because I usually stop eating at Sunday night. And then I go all through Monday with just water, some iced coffee, and then I don't have anything until like Tuesday at lunch. I feel like, there's so many things that we take for granted these days that kind of make people soft, right? What do they say? They say hard times, make hard times make strong people make good times make weak people weak people make weak times. It's like this whole thing that develops. So we have to do what we need to do to keep our mind, strong and keep ourselves kind of on edge to be hungry. So, by saying, hey, I'm going to fast, for the day or day and a half, I feel like you do that and you feel good that you exhibited self-control over things that you can control. Same way everyone's like, Red Dog, why do you go in the ice barrel? You've been doing it for 2 years. I'm like, I actually listened to Tony Robbins the other day and I thought it was pretty interesting. He's been doing the ice barrel for years too, because you have to train your brain for go time. Whether it's raining, whether it's snowing, whether it's 10 degrees, whether it's I'm going in that ice barrel. So basically, I do my sauna, I do my reps, I look at what's happening around the world, I drink my water, have my multivitamin, then I go in the ice barrel and boom, there's no waiting, I'll do it later, maybe not today. It's no, boom, go time. So if you train your brain for go time, when you need to make decisions, whatever it is in your life, you do it. Even with trading, right? You have a split second in trading to figure out, hey, this isn't acting well, maybe I should get out, and then things fall and then your stops get triggered or whatever, or things feel good, market just came in, my stock feels like it's holding up there, it's ready to go through a price, boom, go time. So I just thought it was interesting that he does it also. He just was mixed into one of my videos, and you know what, go time is go time. That split second is what makes a difference. That decision sometimes is, can make or break the trade, the week, everything. But anyway, so let's take a quick look at here before I say hello to my dogs around the world. Let's look at right here. Let's look at the SPYs, right? The SPYs have had one hell of a move. The V bottom, the correction from July, the August 5th low, all the way back to highs. Then it looked like we were ready to break out and they retraced us, which made it healthier. They shook up sentiment. And then here we are. So you have a range now. This is what I would do. I would write down this range. 559, 560 is upper support. Upper support. That's shallow support. This is resistance, 566, 58. So here basically is your inside range. In order to get to 570, it's got to get above and stay above 566. In order to get to 555, it's got to get below and stay below here. Everything else, you can almost take this out in this range now, is kind of noisy, right? So people like Red Dog, what do you think? Knee-jerk reaction. First of all, take the day and split it up into like 7 different pieces. First piece is how did your overnights do? Second piece is where are you up until about 12 o'clock? Third piece is what happens at 2 o'clock, the reaction to whatever is announced. And then when he starts speaking at 2:30, what happens from 2:30 to 3:15? And then what happens the last half an hour of the day? And then do they reverse it the following day, or is that the new trend? So there's lots of different pieces to the day, to be honest. So with that being said, my if you want to, let's break it up right here. If they do, this is my thought process, and I've been doing this for a while. If they do a quarter, I do think there's going to be disappointment, because right now I think 68% of the street thinks 50 basis points. If they do a quarter, chances are I think we see 559 to 560 pretty fast. Right now the SPYs are what? The SPYs were a little loose and wide yesterday. The SPYs are up a little bit. SPYs right now are in the middle, 564. Okay, chances are they probe a little bit between now and 2 o'clock. But if they do a quarter, I do think that you're going to see this 559, 560 pretty fast, because you're at all-time highs, etc. But I do think we're not going to fall apart on a quarter. So the chances are is, do we hold here, and then do we wait to see how dovish he'll be and how he spells out the dot plot thereafter? Okay, and then if he sounds kind of hawkish, maybe there'll be a little bit more disappointment, and then you have 555 below, or the 8-day. If he does a half, okay, the knee-jerk reaction will probably be a rally above 566, maybe towards 570, and then we'll probably be in some kind of waiting mood to see what he says in the 2:30 presser. And then lately, usually as soon as he's done speaking, it then reverses again. So what we also sometimes do is you get to see what's really strong or weak during the day. So when you get these false moves after the initial, you get to see what the real underlying strength or weakness is, and that typically is the direction. That's my 2 cents on that. Okay, the Qs, you take a look at that. The Qs have an inside range also. You have 477 is yesterday's high. You have yesterday's low is what? 470. This is 469. This is 471. So 471 is your range. You could say the same thing. By the way, the tech sector has been a laggard. Okay, the last time tech sector gave us some clues that we could have a reversal, which made a lot of money, was Wednesday of last week. Remember right here when the SPYs were testing that Friday low? Okay, the Qs held strong. So maybe today, if there's a false move and just say the SPYs come in and you see tech holding up, maybe that can give you some clues that the Qs might outperform again, like it started to do here. Or the market, they do this, they goose the market, and tech does nothing, and leaders do nothing, then chances are the real direction in the last half an hour might be down. Just saying. Remember, last time the Fed happened, was right here, if you do remember. I remember everyone was, Tom Lee, IWM's going to 250. We pushed through and failed, and the next day he still said they were going to 250, and then we broke here, and then that started the move, into the end of whatever it was, into the beginning of August. So right now you do have a little bit of a topping tail, and that kind of happened the day before. So in order for the market to come in order for the IWMs to correct, just like you had this area here, which was 220, maybe today you're inside, and then you'll know if we break below 218.47, chances are they're selling. Okay, so at this point I still have a few longs on. I don't have a whole hell of a lot going on. Here's the alpha team. So right there's the alpha team that shows my position. Some of them have been since last Wednesday. Some of them were new. I do think that you do have some leadership names we'll go over that could give some clues, and then you have some one-off names. Here's the crew. So let's say hello to some of them. This is, if you go here, if you're on YouTube, you can see everyone talking. You got Mike from Bali. You got Space Specialist did his 115 push-ups. That's cool. You got Todd D talking the truth. He's been participating a lot. He's my fraternity brother from college, a very smart guy. Cobblestone's here. Got Ronald Greaves. What are the hawkish words versus dovish? Can't get into that now, but I'll get a list for you. What's it called? Roku, a drink, a jug of crow's milk. It doesn't go up today. It's funny. Any opinions on PLCE? I think that isn't that one of those squeezes. So anyway, here's like a kaleidoscope of the red dog. But anyway, it's good that we all, just kind of get together and get situated. So anyway, let's go back to here and that's the alpha team. By the way, what's that LUNR doing this morning? LUNR. Yeah, it was up more. Last night the news came out while I was doing the recap, and we grabbed it underneath $7. Pretty big announcement, was as high as 850. So anyway, let's go back, bring this over here. So what are the best looking mega cap tech names to me? Okay, obviously you have Netflix, which has been a pain in the ass. Excuse my French. Did I say arse? Yeah. Anyway, it closed above 700 the first time. If they want to goose the market, I would think they would take this above 707, 711. It's been in this range since August 20th. Perked its head up. Not an easy trade, unless it's really going to go. It's definitely hard to add on strength. So some are long just versus a price point. Others, when there's momentum, and there hasn't been a lot of momentum in this market at all. But if we're going to be strong today and break out, and tech's going to be okay or good, this could be above 711 and see higher prices. I am long some Netflix. I don't love trading this name. Then you have Meta. Other another name that's been in a channel for like 7-8 months. That's been a real big pain in the ass. I'm using the ass word. I'm sorry. Red Dog likes to be Mr. What's the word? What's the word? I don't even know the word. Try to be nice. Anyway, Meta wedge. So anyway, with this being said, it's nice to be nice. Here, it tried to. Anytime you buy this 542, 544 area, you've been hurt. I bought it right here. I remember that day, August 22nd. Looked like we were ready to go. I bought it. Thank goodness I got stopped out, and I was like, really? Did we just pull in, 40 points off a false breakout after this bull flag false breakout to here we are? So what's going to happen today? I don't know. We'll see. I bought some options. I'm not in Meta stock. I bought some options for Friday. In case they want to break this out. So if they want the market to be perceived strong today, you have Meta and Netflix that look pretty good. Okay. Apple's broken. Microsoft, a little over short-term overbought. I would say you got to watch NVIDIA too. NVIDIA's at a crossroads. Why do I say it's at a crossroads? Because, it had its move. This was your oversold bounce from 101 up to 120. Yesterday felt like there were sellers all day long. If it were to break below 114.36, you really don't have much in there. And then people will start saying, hey, you have a high, lower high, another lower high. So I think NVIDIA for a day like today will give some clues. So I'm going to be focused on NVIDIA also. What's NVIDIA doing right now? It's up a whole nickel, giving you a lot of clues today. But anyway, so far it's inside that candle. So I would watch NVIDIA also, and that would also help give you some clues for the semis. And the semis also have not led the tape. You know what's led the tape? The utilities. I haven't been in one of them, but I'm just saying. Anyway, we have Lebanon in the house. There you go, Avi Ginsburg. Hopefully you didn't have one of those pagers. If you did, maybe you're on Hezbollah and you shouldn't be on here because, I don't like terrorist organizations. But not everyone from there is a terrorist organization. Anyway, that was pretty crazy, right? What a friggin' targeted, intelligent, I don't know, just how they pulled that off is crazy. All right, PLCE, big time children's playhouse, big time squeeze. I guess they thought it was going bankrupt and now it's into a big squeeze. What are they doing here? They are down 78 cents. I wouldn't chase this now, but it's kind of crazy, the way that happened. What's it called? Tesla's been a pain. I've tried to play it. Yesterday, the only thing I did well with Tesla is that I had options on that I was accumulating in here, and into this move, I sold half my options and made good money. And then I was trying to hold on to the stock, and then the stock literally just, again, did nothing. Everyone's looking at this gap, but there's really no narrative on Tesla. People aren't scared to be short because the EV market's been kind of slowing. Tesla's not doing anything so nuts. As far as like the robotaxi event, taxi event in a little while. Anyway, what's Tesla doing today? Tesla is up 48 cents, doing nothing. So it's a very quiet morning. Good morning to sit back, drink some coffee. Yeah, I have Dell, Blair. I like Dell. Dell actually made me good money yesterday for a lot of reasons. I was a little ahead of the game, meaning like in here I was buying Dell. Dell came out with earnings during the bad mood of the market. Sometimes what's great is if companies come out during earnings season and the market's in a bad mood, but they have really good earnings and good guidance, but they sell it anyway because the computers are selling anyway. And then you get into a better tape. Those are the ones to go to. So anyway, we went back to Dell, and I have some, and we'll see, if it makes it easy to sit. Like yesterday with Dell, it was up $3 pre-market. I always say if I have an overnight, I trim some to net money because that's how you get paid. And then if it pulls in, you don't feel as bad because you sold some higher. You could buy it back, at a lower price. And then all of a sudden, if it pulls in and holds and goes again, you like double and triple dipping. Isn't that fun? Or sometimes, it's just a better way to do it. CELH. All I know is if I had a dollar for every time somebody said CELH, put a bottom in, I'd have a lot of dollars, but I probably would have lost a lot of money trying to time that. What's it done lately? I guess you could say there was a little green candle here. Little green candle. And sometimes you see some of these broken moves off the bottom. This stock's been, you had your double top, you had a red dog reversal here. And then you had another, look at this, and another red dog reversal here. Same exact pattern, broke. And then this has been below the 8-day this entire time. What I would suggest is just maybe taking some options and go out a month if you're going to sit, if you think you're going to get some kind of bounce. Some people are like, oh, everyone still drinks it. Oh, my kids drink it. It's a takeover target, et cetera, et cetera. Let's see what's it doing this morning. CLH up 9 cents. If you're going to be long this thing, maybe be long versus the bottom and have a really strict stop. And I would say at this point, maybe it's worth an option play. That's all I would probably do there. Lilly broke its upper level yesterday. Some guys got stopped out. This 893 is pretty important. If it were to break this 893 and you're very, very active, I would say you have to get out of the way. What's it doing this morning? Lilly this morning is up 80 cents. If you're an investor in Lilly, you don't really care. You've made a goddamn bloody fortune. Thank goodness, or congratulations to you. If you were my power plays, you made a lot of money too, because this was my first power play of the year. And, but if you trade actively for a living and you thought, hey, it was going to break above 960 or 972 or 942, it's a little vulnerable here and could go lower. So just saying, you asked me for Lilly, that's the short-term active. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, again, know your time frame, know your size. What does Space Special says? Bios. Yeah, I think the bios are looking really good. You have the XBI teasing again. How many times this is like the hottest girl in high school and just wears like some cute stuff. Not that I'm in high school anymore, but back in the day, and then says, I'm not going to the dance with anyone. Well, that's not a really great analogy, but anyway, 103, 102, 102, 103. It's been doing this since February. So what does that mean? The longer the base, the higher what's that rhyme? Could be a great move. At this point, I am sticking to my call that this will be at 111 at some point in 2024. It is now September 18th of 2024. We have some time, and I do think that this can get here. I've been trading the XBI. I've been making some good money there. Instead of, the IWM. Inverse head and shoulders pattern on what? On XBI. Let's see. Yeah, you can make this is like the left shoulder. This is the head. This is the right shoulder. And this is just a big time neckline. Every time you've bought it, though, it's been tough. The higher the space above. There you go, Rick. Rick always helps me out. Rick and I have been in the market for a long time. And where's my buddy Matty Dubs? I feel like we've been doing this since 1998. It's pretty funny. But anyway, so let's just go back at 649. Let's not overcomplicate this, because Red Dog is a very simple fella. I don't overcomplicate anything because I'm not that smart. I am a cocktail napkin technician. Markets are following a trend higher, higher lows, higher highs. I like it. If we're going sideways, we got to wait. If we're going down, we're going down. Gets below and stays below, it's weak. Gets above and stays above, it's strong. At this particular point, 560, 658 is your pivot resistance from yesterday. We broke through this, did a little loose and wide action. Here's your active support. Are we going to do a quarter? Are we going to do a half? What's the pressure going to be like? And you think I'm all washed up? All right, I don't think so. I feel like I got a good 10 years left. But anyway, yeah, I got 10 years left. I just got a friggin' heart surgery a little 14 months ago. I'm back in my sauna. I went from going back in the sauna and ice barrel tentatively a month after my heart surgery to getting my 10-pound weights back in there because I still had to heal. And I just changed my 10-pound weights out for 15-pound weights, and I'm doing 2 bags instead of 1. So Red Dog ain't washed up. You're lucky I don't block your ass. Anyway, with that being said, we'll see what happens here. 559, 560 is active support. Here's your resistance. Do we hang in here? Do we go above and fake it out? Like yesterday was a fake out. We went above 564, 565. They squeezed some shorts. Then we came back towards 560. Kind of what I said anymore. I'm not on CNBC anymore. It's fine. I'm on Fox Business twice a month. Yesterday they asked me to come in, and I said, you know what? I have obligations to my town. So instead of needing to be on TV, I was like, you know what? I have other things I got to do, and I also have to be with the Alpha team. But thank you very much. Fox Business has been great. Twice a month since 2012. I don't have a publicist. I don't spend $5,000, $7,000 like people do to get on TV. They usually like it because I tell like it is. I don't play a bull on TV. I don't play a bear on TV. I write a note every single day, which is an actionable approach to the market for those who trade for a living. On the Fridays, I go with a weekly note to talk about the 7 or 8 different time frames I approach the market with, because now I'm older. I'm 52, not quite washed up, more experienced than washed up. And I talk about other ways to develop wealth over time that you don't get paid for, or pay for college instead of looking for bailouts. But anyway, as far as today is concerned, we'll see what happens. Oh, you know what? Woke up a little bit yesterday that I thought was interesting. Reddit looks pretty good. You know, if you look here, this was the high. I remember this fake out. I was trying to play a breakout, and then I think I got done with it here. Someone's like, hey, Red Dog, look at this consolidation. Just kind of broke above this, and it seems like it can go higher. So if the market hangs in there, Reddit looks a little bit better as one of the few new issues that came out, you know, in the past few years. You know, something else that was awesome that's been moving up. Everyone's made really good money with ONON. I was on this early. You know, everyone's like, you know, I see them everywhere. I'm like, I see them everywhere also. You know, you look at the weekly chart of this, and, you know, played out perfect. You know, and this was the last time we really hyper-focused on it. People are like, well, the whole shoe industry is horrible. Look at Nike. I'm like, well, maybe look at everyone's feed. You don't see as many Nikes as you see on clouds. So anyway, with that being said, this was a new issue that did pretty well too. So every now and then new names come into the mix. Some of my guys love Dash. Dash also was a new issue that came in, and they think that this, you know, this was an opportunity yesterday, as there was some news that insider sales happened. But you know what? Insider sales happen on most stocks, you know, unless it's a stock that's in its infancy or a stock that's been obviously pummeled. This is acting pretty well. And, you know, as long as this holds, just say 127, you know, I'm going to stay with this one too, because I feel like it's still not fully understood and has some room to the upside if it wants it. Gold's been great. Silver's been great. All as well. What's it called? You won 12 days in a row. That's cool. All as well. It's all good. I like to play with, you know, the you know, social media is very fun at sometimes. Sometimes I do block people that I just don't feel like is worth the time or energy. Same way I tell my son, I'm like, you know, if there are kids that are bringing you down, just, you know, get them out of your circle. If there are people on social media that aren't saying things that are constructive, that make you think, and they're just being arseholes, then block them. I block about 10, 15 peoples a day. Peoples, what's a people? People. Usually them, if they're on the far left or the far right, and I say something in the middle and they go nuts, blocked, don't need you. Anyway, I like people who add value. All right, the strength in numbers, and that's what usually happens here on the Alpha team, Redler All Access, and the 630 Club. All right. Other than that, have a good luck today. Yeah, I know 1 or 2 traders that aren't even coming to work today. They're like, screw this. I always lose money on Fed day. I'm going to, you know, log in around 5 minutes to 4 and see what's going on and see how things are, you know, shaping up. And then usually get better action on the Thursday, Friday thereafter. And sometimes it's the exact opposite. So that's why it makes it hard to place big size. All right. Later, guys.